Good morning, fam. I'll be honest, the struggle to get out of bed is real, but we're in this together. The morning dew is still fresh, the world is still in its slumber, and the cozy nest of blankets is oh so inviting. The battle between the snooze button and the alarm clock is a daily saga, isn't it? I mean, who doesn't hit the snooze button at least once? And yes, there are days when I question the sanity of morning people. But then, there's something magical about those early hours, isn't there? It's like having the world to yourself, even if it's just for a few moments. It's the silence before the storm, the calm before the chaos. And here's the thing, even if the snooze button wins sometimes, it's okay. Because the first step to a productive day is not perfection, it's persistence. It's dragging myself out of that cozy nest, one day at a time. The first step to a productive day is dragging myself out of the cozy nest. Once I've conquered the epic battle with the snooze button, it's time to hydrate. Now you might be wondering, why water first thing in the morning? Well, after a long night's sleep, our bodies are naturally dehydrated. Drinking a glass of water upon waking helps kickstart our metabolism, rehydrate our bodies, and even aids in flushing out toxins. Trust me, it's been a game changer in my routine. As for the morning stretch, it's not about perfect form or mastering complex yoga poses. It's about waking up the body, loosening those stiff muscles, and getting the blood flowing. My go-to routine? A mix of simple stretches, a bit of a reach for the sky, a touch of the toes. Nothing fancy, but just enough to wake me up and get me moving. But hey, it gets the blood flowing, and that's what our bodies need after a long night's rest. I'm a firm believer in mindfulness, even though my mind is basically a circus in the morning. The moment I close my eyes, the chatter begins. Thoughts about chores, deadlines, and what I'm going to have for breakfast, all vying for attention. But here's the thing, meditation is not about silencing your thoughts, it's about acknowledging them without judgment. So, I sit in my comfortable corner, take a deep breath, and dive into the chaos. I imagine each thought as a cloud floating by in the sky of my mind. I don't try to push them away or hold on to them. I simply let them be. As I focus on my breath, I gradually feel a sense of calm washing over me. It's like standing in the eye of a storm, where everything is peaceful and still. This simple practice helps me manage stress, maintain focus, and embrace the day with a positive outlook. Taking a few moments to breathe helps me approach the day with a bit more calm. Now, let's dive into the planner. You know, there are days when my to-do list feels like a mountain that sprouted overnight. But planning and setting priorities, that's the secret sauce to climbing that mountain. It's like having a map that guides you through the day, helping you navigate the chaos and focus on what truly matters. But it's not all about the hustle. Let's switch gears to gratitude. Gratitude journaling is my daily dose of perspective. It's about taking a moment to appreciate the little things, the everyday miracles that we often overlook. It's about finding joy in the journey, even on those days when the coffee runs out or the Wi-Fi decides to play hide and seek. Gratitude shifts your focus from what your life lacks to the abundance that's already present. Today I'm grateful for coffee, Wi-Fi, and the fact that my cat didn't knock anything off the shelves last night. Okay, breakfast time. You've heard it said that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, right? Well, it's not just a catchy phrase. A good, nutritious breakfast sets the tone for the day. It replenishes your supply of glucose and provides essential nutrients to keep your energy levels up throughout the day. My breakfast isn't always picture perfect, but it's real, it's nutritious, and it's delicious. It's all about balance and fueling my body with what it needs to tackle the day. Some mornings it's a hearty bowl of oatmeal, a fruit salad, or a protein-packed smoothie. Other days it might be whole grain toast with almond butter and banana slices, maybe even a veggie-packed omelette if I'm feeling fancy. And let's not forget about a good cup of coffee or tea. Today, it's avocado toast. Simple, but oh so satisfying. My avocado finally decided to ripen, so it's the star of the show this morning. Remember, breakfast doesn't have to be complicated to be healthy and tasty. After breakfast, it's time for some me time. This is a slice of time I've carved out just for personal development. Now I know what you're thinking. Personal development sounds like a fancy term for self-help books and motivational speeches, but it's so much more than that. It's about investing in yourself, taking the time to learn something new, or simply to grow in some way. Personal development is about continuous learning. It's about acknowledging that you don't know everything and that there's always room for improvement. It's about embracing the fact that we're all works in progress, and that's okay. It's about being curious about the world around us and about ourselves. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone and challenging yourself. So what does this look like for me? Well, it varies. Some days it's diving into a good book that makes me think. Other days, it's listening to a podcast or watching a TED Talk that sparks new ideas. Sometimes it's taking an online course or learning a new skill. But it's not always about being productive. Sometimes it's about self-reflection, self-care, and emotional growth. You see, personal development is not a race, and there's no finish line. It's a journey. It's about making small, consistent efforts to become the best version of yourself. It's about realizing that every day is an opportunity for growth, and seizing that opportunity. And remember, it's not about comparing yourself to others. Your personal development journey is just that, personal. It's about you and what you want to achieve. So don't be too hard on yourself if you're not where you want to be yet. Progress is progress, no matter how small. So here's my challenge to you. Set aside some time for personal development. It could be 15 minutes a day or an hour a week. Just start somewhere. You might be surprised at how much you can grow. And at the end of the day, whether it's reading a book, learning a new language, or simply taking a moment to reflect on your day, it's all about growth. It's all about becoming a better version of yourself. Because after all, learning is learning, right? All right, freshened up and ready to seize the day. Now let's talk about getting ready. This is where we transition from the drowsy morning persona to the day conqueror. Personal grooming is more than just looking presentable. It's about feeling prepared, confident, and ready to tackle whatever the day may throw at us. My grooming routine is as unique as I am. It's not about following the latest trends or using the most expensive products. It's about what works for me. Whether it's a quick shower, brushing my teeth, or doing my skincare routine, every step is a small victory in the daily battle of life. One thing I've learned is that a good grooming routine doesn't have to be complicated. It's about consistency and finding what works best for you. So whether you're a minimalist or a beauty enthusiast, remember that your grooming routine is a form of self-care, a way to show yourself some love each day. So we're all set to tackle the day head on. Let's get out there and make the most of this beautiful day. And now, the real work begins. We've woken up, stretched and hydrated, meditated, jotted down our thoughts, fueled our bodies, and spent some quality time on personal development. But what's a productive day without tackling our top priorities? Picture this: a day's task list brimming with to-dos, some urgent, some not so much. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, right? Here's my strategy. I start with the most challenging task first, the one that requires the most mental energy. It's like eating the frog, as Mark Twain once said. Not the most appetizing metaphor, but it works. I break down larger tasks into manageable parts and tackle them one at a time. And remember, it's okay to take breaks. In fact, they're essential. Short breaks can help refresh your mind and maintain your focus. And yes, there's always that one task that keeps getting postponed. It's okay, we all have one. The key is not to let it become a source of stress. Sometimes the best way to deal with it is to just dive in and get it done. I've accepted that my desk will never be as tidy as those Pinterest-worthy ones, but that's life. So that's my not-so-perfect, totally relatable morning routine. There you have it, folks. A glimpse into the daily dance of a morning routine that's less about perfection and more about embracing the beautiful chaos of life. We started the day with the universal struggle of escaping the warm embrace of our beds. Some days it's a victory, some days it's a battle, but it's always the starting point of our day. We then conquered the first task of the day: hydration. Remember, it's not just about quenching thirst, but kickstarting our body's functions. And stretching, it's the physical version of shaking off the cobwebs, getting the blood flowing and waking up our muscles for the day ahead. Next, we ventured into the realm of mindfulness with morning meditation. It's not about perfect stillness or some mystical state of Zen, but rather about taking control of our thoughts, even when they're running wild. Our morning routine continued with planning and gratitude journaling. It's not about rigid schedules or a long list of tasks, but about understanding our priorities and appreciating the little things in life. We then fueled up with a healthy breakfast, which is often a bit of a culinary adventure, but always about nourishing our bodies for the day ahead. Our me time followed, a moment for personal development. It's not always about reading profound books or attending webinars. Sometimes it's just about indulging our curiosity and learning something new. Finally, we dived into the day's work. It's not about achieving a spotless desk or ticking off every task, but about making progress and finding satisfaction in our accomplishments. And with that, we've come full circle. Whether your morning routine looks like this, or if you have your own unique rhythm, remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. So, share your morning routines or struggles, let's learn and laugh together. Until next time, keep it real, stay productive, and embrace the beautiful chaos of your mornings.